On June 28, at a meeting of the Standing Committee of the Parliamentary Assembly of the OSCE, head of the Azerbaijan delegation at the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly, Deputy Speaker of Azerbaijan Parliament Bahar Muradova proposed expansion of powers of OSCE Parliamentary Assembly's representatives for the South Caucasus Joao Suares in order to facilitate the resolution of the conflicts in the region. According to Muradova, OSCE Parliamentary Assembly doesn't work eagerly towards the resolution of conflicts in South Caucasus. She noted that despite the efforts of the OSCE Minsk Group for resolution of the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, there are no results so far. In turn, President of the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly, the Speaker of the Parliament of Montenegro, Ranko Krivokapic, spoke about plans to increase activity in the field of conflict resolution. Krivokapic believes that it would be very useful if the OSCE representative on the South Caucasus became more active. A draft resolution on the violation of Helsinki principles by the Russian Federation, an additional item was proposed for inclusion in Parliamentary Assembly session's agenda. The main author of the document was Benjamin Cardin from the United States. The draft document noted that the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly condemns the obvious, gross and uncorrected violations of the Helsinki principles of the Russian Federation with respect to Ukraine, including a particularly egregious violation of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of this country. The Assembly believes that the Crimea referendum held March 16, 2014 is illegitimate and illegal act, the results of which have no legal force. The draft calls on OSCE countries to refuse to recognize the Russian annexation of the Crimea. The draft resolution requires military intervention to Ukraine carried out by the forces controlled by Russia. The document calls for Russia to cease its interference in Ukraine and bring their actions in relations with Ukraine and with all OSCE states in accordance with the Helsinki principles. The Standing Committee of the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly has included an additional item in the draft resolution entitled The Obvious, Gross and Uncorrected Violations of the Helsinki Principles of the Russian Federation, proposed by the American parliamentarian Benjamin Cardin in the agenda of the opening 23rd session held in Baku by 30 votes for and 5 votes against. The number of abstained delegations was not counted. During the discussions, head of the Russian delegation Alexei Pushkov opposed the issue. He argued that there was no invasion of Russia in Ukraine, and invasion is typical for U.S. foreign policy. Pushkov also accused the OSCE of double standards and ignoring the territorial integrity of Serbia. The head of the Azerbaijan delegation, Bahar Muradova, supported the territorial integrity of Ukraine but opposed the adoption of the draft resolution as proposed. Muradova called wrong a selective approach to the territorial integrity of the OSCE participating states, saying that for 22 years Azerbaijan has been raising the issue of violation of its territorial integrity but doesn't find adequate support. She advised that either the American parliamentarians should finalize the draft resolution and include points relating to the conflicts in Azerbaijan, Georgia and Moldova, or the draft resolution should be removed from the agenda of the 23rd session of the NATO, finalized and submitted to the next session. However, the vast majority of panelists favored the inclusion of this draft resolution in the agenda. Part of the parliamentarians noted the possibility of amendments relating to other conflicts. Only the head of the Armenian delegation, Artashes Gegamyan, opposed. He also complained that the speakers talking about the principle of territorial integrity forget about the right of nations to self-determination. Gegamyan also stated that the adoption of the resolution could do harm to the peace process in the east of Ukraine. On June 28, Azerbaijan President Ilham Aliyev made a speech at the opening ceremony of the 23rd session of the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly in Baku. He said that Azerbaijan is a democratic country which respects freedom of assembly, speech, media and the internet, to which 70% of the population has access. Aliyev said that the political reforms and modernization of the country still continue, and therefore Azerbaijan is ready to cooperate with the OSCE. Stability of the political situation, according to Aliyev, allows to plan the future and implement the goals to modernize the country. Concerning foreign policy, Aliyev called for the development of mechanisms that would allow approval of international legal norms on a global basis. He said that in today's world there is often selective approach in the implementation of international law. Some UNSC resolutions are fulfilled within a few hours, but some are not implemented for more than 20 years, as in the case of Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan suffers from such a situation. For more than 20 years, 20% of internationally recognized territories of Azerbaijan is under Armenian occupation. Armenia ignores the UN Security Council resolutions, decisions of the Lisbon Summit of the OSCE, PAC and the European Parliament, and is not willing to release something that is not her own, he said. Aliyev pointed to repeated statements of presidents of the OSCE Minsk Group co-chairs, the US, France and Russia, on non-admissibility of the status quo. As for the principle of self-determination, it must not act against the territorial integrity. The OSCE Parliamentary Assembly President Ranko Krivokapic and the OSCE Chairman President of Switzerland Didier Burkhalter focused on the situation in Ukraine. Speaker of Azerbaijan Parliament Oktay Asadov said that Azerbaijan has always been a supporter of the implementation of the Helsinki Principles. He called on the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly to condemn Armenia for the violation of these principles and the occupation of Azerbaijan territories. Didier Burkhalter called for advancing the negotiations for the settlement of Azerbaijani and Armenian conflict, expressing hope that constructive talks will be restored. Therefore, he expressed his support for involvement of high-level mediators in negotiations and the civil society in peace process. He also expressed approval of a new meeting between Azerbaijani and Armenian presidents.